So, all right, here we are in the shop. We've already done an intro to this clutching video, but I think we're gonna redo it because
redo the intro.
We're redoing the intro, which we're basically about done with everything. We're getting ready to swap tires out on Vlad, take him for a test drive. But we were sitting around talking, taking a little break, and you know, this is a clutching video after the gear reduction, trying to find something that makes these work. So for a year, we've been running the Aftermarket Assassin's tune, which seems great. And Mike's been a lot of help with a couple issues we've had with it. The clutching, however, we've went a year and just belt after belt after belt. 4 conversations with Mike at Aftermarket Assassins, you know, was add more weight. Well, my RZR crawls just fine, but we were running with max weight in these things, and finally got time just to figure it out. Clutching is black magic, it's voodoo, and it's a secret that nobody wants to share.
I'll agree with that.
And we've been just through some research, reading things, watching some videos, and putting 2 and 2 together. In our case, it might equal 5, but we've got a better understanding now. So the last conversation I had with Mike is about the purple spring, which Aftermarket Assassins does not tell you what their spring rates are at all, or their helix angle. So if you're having clutch issues, if you got the blue and yellow spring in the primary, it's a 55-155. And the secondary, I think, is a 150-200. Stock secondary is 140-200, so just a little bit. So what that secondary spring does is slow down how your sheaves open up, and that is where you get your belt tension, your belt grip, where you probably most of the time slip your belts. So we're sitting around talking, and Amber had a real good point about what I forgot to say in the original intro, so speak it.
I was just thinking most people that do clutch kits put out just a generic clutch kit. You know, like Aftermarket Assassins, what they had, the high load, helix, and the performance, which was basically just the 2 kits you could get. If you have a 4-seater, get this. If you have a 2-seater, get that.
And the difference in these big tire kits versus a regular clutch kit is just the angle of the helix. The performance helix, which he doesn't tell you what the angle is 55 degrees. Your stock angle is progressive from 53 to 49. The steeper the angle, the harder your engine pulls in, you know, a drag race situation. So you got big tires, 4-seaters, they knock that high load helix down, or big tire helix, whoever you're buying your kit from, they knock it down. I think Aftermarket Assassins measured out to a 48. So there's your difference in your clutch kits, and the helix is where you feel that you've really done something with your clutch kit.
And when we first put them in, you know, Sprinkles and Vlad felt like rockets and kept having more and more high end speed. But riding out here on the East Coast, we don't, on the hills and the trails, you don't open them up. I mean, you never even touch that power. So then the range that we really need, the torque and the belt grip good, we were just slipping all the time. And the issue is the springs, which nobody told us. And then you look on racers' pages trying to figure out what they're doing with their clutching, and nobody ever says. And then, you know, other people and other types of racing, you know, Jeremy, our friend at Nightcrawler Customs, you know, he said nobody ever wants to give up their information about clutching, which stinks for the average rider to get information. You know, talking to enough people, Steven got a bunch of information to help get us on the right track.
And everybody that I talked to only wanted to sell me their clutch kit.
Except for HunterWorks.
Except for Todd at HunterWorks. He came up, we had a nice conversation. He answered the phone, I think first time I called him. wasn't no waiting 4 days for him to call you back. And he didn't even try to get me to sell me anything. He just wanted to talk clutching with somebody who wanted to learn. So he got us pointed a little bit better direction and kind of fulfilled the understanding about it. So we're not keeping any secrets.
No.
We're gonna tell you, like I said, if you didn't watch the gear reduction video, both RZRs have 53% gear reduction in low, changes the clutching tremendously. So what we did the first go round with sprinkles, I don't think we filmed it. She went out there and RPMs jumping all over the place. Test drove sprinkles, it would jump up from 81 to 8,700 RPM, and it's just the belt slipping in the secondary. So we came back,
Put a stiffer spring in.
we put a stiffer secondary spring in. We put the OEM primary spring back in, and for belt grip that we want, we put all the weight we can in the clutch arms. And so she took it up and down the road. We got video of that. If you're going through more than one belt per year, you've got problems. And I'm not singling out Aftermarket Assassins. Like I said, we'll continue to buy stuff from them. This is just clutch secrets that we've learned. So any comments to steer us in a better direction if we said something incorrect, let us have them. You know, we're not bashing anybody. We're just trying to fine tune this stuff to get it to ride, perform how we want it to.
Everybody wants to make their machine the best it can be. And if you keep, well, I don't like this clutch kit, so I'm gonna buy this clutch kit. And then you bought a whole bunch of kits, spent a lot of money when maybe all you needed was a $25 spring.
We ain't got no secrets. We're telling you our how we're setting this up. It might be good, it might not be good, but
might be wrong.
As you'll see in the video, sprinkles performed a whole hell of a lot better and didn't have the belt slip. We held a constant RPM. So please subscribe, like, share, tell everybody about us, drop some comments down, let us know what you want to see.
If you're a clutching guru,
If,
tell us about it or come out to the shop. We'd be more than happy to have you.
There's nobody going to tell us about clutching because we're sitting here saying we're spilling the beans. So
maybe the magic clutch fairy will just come and constantly make sure that they're okay.
Yeah, I'm
then
sure.
We won't tell your secret.
I'm sure she's coming right with the magical money fairy too. You know, so
That'd be nice.
So-
And the fairy that cleans your house.
yeah. So hopefully, I don't know how much action is going to be in this video. It's kind of just discussing this clutching. It's a huge mystery, and nobody wants to tell their secrets. So we've stumbled into a little understanding, and we're very happy to share it with you. So on to the video.
Yes.
We're time traveling right now.
I've
We
always
just
wanted
figured
to.
out how to time travel because, as you see, it's dark outside. So we're going to time travel the intro to the past to catch up.
And I found out today we have a flux capacitor too.
See?
it? Yeah. It might work.
All right. Didn't Wayne and Garth. Dun, 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 dun.
Boring.
Dun, 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 dun. Primary or secondary clutch spring replacement with Turd Ferguson.
You didn't have to tell everyone I changed my name again.
I wonder how many people actually know who Turd Ferguson is.
If they don't, they should.
If you don't know who Turd Ferguson is, or if you do, drop a line in the comments. We can tell you, or you can Google it. It'd probably be more funny if you Google it. If you have a cheesy sense of humor like we do.
Or a YouTube video.
Huh?
They can just look it up on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's YouTube Turd Ferguson. So meanwhile, while we're doing this, what should they, along with the comment, what should they pause the video right now and do real quick?
Snacks. Red Bull?
Yeah, get you some snacks and Red Bulls. And then come back, and before you resume the video, what do you want them to do?
You're asking me.
Subscribe.
Oh yeah, you gotta subscribe to the video too while you're eating your snacks.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I was tightening my belts,
What are you doing with the razor?
checking my RPMs. What are you doing?
RPM test, see if that stiffer spring is going to slow down that belt travel into the secondary. What it get to?
74 and I was half throttle.
When you took off, it was spin city.
I know. Now it all got back in it. She's got a lot more torque, it feels like.
Yeah, we're using high. The high gear feels vicious now with that lower gear ratio.
Room for to open her up.
Yeah. But I mean, don't they take out on the road? I don't think we need to be worried about just from dead stop. Just roll up there, get up to speed, and see what we're, you know, wide open. See what your RPMs are at. If they get over 8,400, just back off and come back. Usually I ride behind her in the four-seater. Make sure she don't break down or nothing, so. I'm gonna say just by the RPMs, it sounded really steady, like it wasn't slipping, so we'll see what the official report is. Does she have any tires left with the sticky compound on the road? Watch out, watch out!
About 8,000.
8,000 steady. So the 8,000 steady. Didn't do the jumping around like it has been doing us before. Every time we get out on the road and try to get our max RPM.
And I felt it run out of gear and just
Felt it die off, hit the limit we set with the flyweight. See?
I have a hard time looking and keeping her on the road, but it was over 79, but if it was at 8, it was right under. I'd say about 8,000.
All right, so see, we've been fighting this. How long have we had these clutch kits? A year? Almost to the day? Probably 13 months, whatever, it don't matter. But we've been fighting this for 11, 12, 13 months. I was getting a video of your knee. You're supposed to be like, camera up.
I'm not like you.
Highlight the features. So we learned about clutching a little bit, the basics, and just a stiffer spring seemed to fix our issue that we've had for a while. So previously, without gear reduction, she tried this, and you could see, you know, the heat of the motor lugged down. It didn't like it, so just a simple little maybe test of how good the gear reduction went. Well, that's night and day difference. That's awesome. And you can see by your look on your face, like, whoa, it didn't go like that before. So imagine how easy the lion's den's gonna be when we go back. So I'd say you're probably, you think you're comfortable trying to trail ride with it like that? You want to get any more, if you want more RPM, we can take RPMs or the weights out of it, but we're not running wide open. If it was hitting 8,000, I mean.
She went fast enough for me up the road. She's pretty heavy.
Feel better with that steeper helix in there. So, alright, we're gonna call Sprinkles good to go for a minute until we can get to a park and test it out. What are you doing?
Sprinkles found some bling at AutoZone she had to have.
Some bling at AutoZone?
Yeah. It probably won't stick good, but it's funny.
So
She's the mother effing princess.
So there's the joke that Sprinkles is a girl raiser that we've had. You know, that she gets everything first and she gets what she wants because she's a mother effing princess. And we've always been joking, well, if she is, where's her crown? So we had to run into town for a minute to grab some cotter pins. And we found the mother effing princess sticker crown for Sprinkles. So Sprinkles got her crown.
Oh my God.
I'm sure it'll fall off in like 2 rides, if that, or the first time you wash it, whichever comes first.
But it's funny.
It's funny. So that's fabulous.
It's 15 more horsepower too.
Are you sure?
I think it said 8. It's exaggerating.
So there you saw, by now you saw, we're happy with Sprinkles. She's holding good RPM, steady RPM, not jumping around. So she's ready for a trail test. We were hoping to get to today, but we both slept in because we're lazy and tired. And then we got rain coming this afternoon, so. But, so I guess that brings us to what we got left. They're gonna notice Vlad moved.
I know.
So we got Vlad set up last night with what we're gonna try for a 4-seater, and we got it all. Yeah, we got to put on our belts, but we got it set up the way we think we wanted to set it up, and we had to mount tires. Vlad's got his 35 Stiggies on. And well, you were like, go try it out. I was like, no, I don't want to try it out. I'm not going to try it out. We'll wait till tomorrow, get it on film since it was dark outside.
And once we couldn't wait.
Couldn't wait. Once we got the tires on it and finished the tender springs on it, I was like, man, I got to try it out. So I did cheat a little bit and just try it out on the edge of the driveway. So, but we still need to do RPM test on it, so I'm sure she'll ride with me on that and show you what you're looking for.
Okay. I don't like to ride passenger. Well, we all know what I really want to call it. The B word. I'll be nice. I feel most people know.
The proper terminology for riding shotgun.
Yeah, I don't like to call it shotgun. Because shotguns are fun. Always wear your safety belts.
Yep. And in some crawling videos, you may see that I may not have my shoulder belts on, but I promise you, my sub belt and my lap belt are on. Always riding. So even though the Aftermarket Assassin primary spring was a lighter beginning number, which is your clutch engagement, by the time we got it all set up, our engagement's really within about 75 RPM of what we had. So we went back with that stock spring. A little higher engagement means it's going to grab that belt a little quicker with more, or not quicker, but with more force behind it. So ain't no difference.
What are we watching for?
Alright, so you want to watch, you know, if you're racing a racing setup, you want boom, take off, 4-wheel drive, dead stop, high gear, 4-wheel drive on, and you want to watch your, you know, pedal to the floor, you want to watch your RPM, it should stay steady the whole way through. Once you get wide open throttle, it should stay steady, and then your speed's just going to increase. So, you know, we're not too worried about all that get up and go. We just want to make sure for what we're doing, the crawling, obstacle type stuff, that we know with our weights, we've got all the weights we can in on them, so we know we're getting the most belt grab that we can. So we're just watching at wide open throttle, we're just watching, we're not going to go from a dead stop, but we're just watching for a steady RPM to let us know that we got our belt slip in the secondary fixed, and we're not pegging it off the rev limiter or running it, you know, 200 or 300 RPM away from the rev limiter, because we don't need to do that. So axle I've got wallering us around. were wide open throttle. We jumped up 8,300, and then it kind of dropped off 8,250, 82, and held there. If you're not wanting to lose that max RPM, that's where in that last hole on the tip of your clutch weights, you know, if we wanted more RPM, we would take one magnet out, or if you got the other style where it's bolt in little tiny washers so you can be more precise, then we want to take a little bit out, because low RPM, mid-range RPM was holding right there at 83. When we got into the top third of the clutch weight there, it started to drop a little bit. So that's possibly because of that progressive rate OEM helix we got in the secondary. But if we were racing, we wanted to maintain that RPM. We didn't want to lose any RPM. We'd take weight out of the tip to keep our RPMs up. So I'm happy with it. I think, you know, as far as we can tell now, our belt slip's gone, because in a year of messing with trying to best get this clutch right and play with the weights, you know, we've not had that result. So we're on the right track.
You going on the wall?
Going to the wall. So, old setup with the clutch kit and 32s, I promise would have looked like we put in the video earlier of sprinkles without the gear reduction, trying to get up it, and a slipping belt. It'd been the same, if not worse, because this thing seemed to eat up belts a little bit more. So for what we're doing, the rock crawling, slow speed trail riding, obstacles, I'm sure you feel, you know, if we wanted to hit a hill, that we've still got the gearing, the wheel speed. But for what we're doing, crawling, obstacles, you know, our final setups were OEM primary spring, and we put all the weight that we could in the big holes of these. So we're running heavy clutch weight in the flywheel weights. Flyweights.
Heavier springs in the secondary.
We got both got heavier springs in the secondary. She's got a 55-degree angle straight cut helix in her secondary. We've got the OEM 53 to 49 in this one. Because it is a 4-seater, I didn't want to go super steep on the helix. She's got a 160 to 20.
I think so.
I think so. The dark blue with the green stripe secondary spring from Venom. That's what she's got. And because the 4-seater seemed to eat more belts up than hers, and slipping more and generating more heat, we went with the 185 245 secondary spring. It was, what color was it? It was dark blue and red.
I know it was dark blue. Maybe it was an orangish red.
Okay.
I don't know. It was Venom.
So anyway, Venom Red's website, it's the stiffest secondary spring you can get. And I know the rates was 185 245, which is really super stiff. But we're not having our belt slip issues that we had. We'll continue to tinker around with it. Maybe this spring's a little bit heavy. Maybe hers is a little bit light, but I feel it's a really good starting point. You know, if you're wanting to to stop eating up belts and to fix the you know, the Aftermarket Assassin's secondary clutch spin.
And make your rock crawling much easier, more enjoyable.
Yeah, that's definitely a rock crawling setup, because if we were drag racing or wanting to run high RPMs, we wouldn't have as much weight
I'll still race you.
in the wheels or the flyweights. So the 35s, the 53 12 reduction on mine, 53 26 on hers. It's all the same parts, it's just my transmission's geared a little different in high. So I really, it's still peppy as can be. I mean, I said earlier, we're not, or I can't remember, is this video or the last video, we're not really, you know, Sprinkles isn't a highly modified machine, but I'm gonna say with the gear reduction and the tires that we're both highly modified now. So yes, it's just ridiculous how easy just climbing up on that ledge was compared to what it was for her earlier without the gear reduction and proper clutching. So I think that's it. You got anything I missed out on?
Yes. I noticed Sprinkles is still faster.
It's the see, that's the helix. It's the helix. That's where that feel comes from.
Although it could be that she's just terrifying to drive on the road. I don't know why.
No, she felt,
because I can't see my gauges and stuff.
You can feel the difference between a 55, because where you're hitting the 55 helix, I'm probably 52, 51 coming up that progression.
I was just teasing.
Oh, I know, but it's they need to know. So,
but she is faster. Because I rode with Steven.
Hopefully this isn't a super long video and bore you to death, but this is a big issue that we've been dealing with for a year, like we've said, and I feel finally just figuring out on our own, because nobody else, clutch companies wanted to help out. You know, if you got a clutch kit, big box, you know, clutch kit for everybody, it's about like a one-size-fits-all baseball hat. One size may fit all of them, but it sure the hell don't fit my head. So a little bit of tuning, your clutch kit's not junk, it's not money wasted, no need to sell it, take a hit on it to get rid of it. You just need some tuning. So hopefully we helped you out, and we're probably not done. We're going to tweak and tweak. I think next video we've got a Razorback belt temperature gauge we're going to put in this just to monitor the heats. We'll talk a little bit more. We put the tender springs on both these things. I can tell it feels a whole lot better. So maybe we'll save that for another video, maybe we won't. You got any questions, drop them in the comments. Got any advice on clutching, please drop them in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching. You know, you guys asking us questions on Facebook and stuff it's cool to just be able to share our knowledge with other people, make your machine better, make you a better rider. Maybe we can be your guinea pigs and test out what doesn't work and what ends up working. So, but it is cool to help you all out. So we've not got the details yet ironed out.
I don't know why we don't.
No, we've been messing with these things, figuring out the clutch mystery. But we are going to do, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, a cage giveaway. We're still working out on the details, but we do know one thing. Go to our Facebook page, Crash City Side by Side. Like it, because that's where we're going to pull the drawings from. So it's going to be in collaboratedized conjunction with 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, 1,000 Facebook likes.
Well, I think when I post in the Crash City Side by Side, we post the rules for the giveaway. How about people like the page and then comment that they subscribed and liked when we make that giveaway detail post.
Yeah, so if you're a subscriber that wants a chance at a free cage, you have to go to our Facebook page and just like it and comment on it. And this 1,000 likes, both pages, we're 1,000 likes, 1,000 subscribers, and we're gonna get it away. But we'll do a video. We'll figure it out. Probably within the next couple videos, we'll get the rules up there. So 1,000 subscribers, somebody's gonna get a free cage.
And if they don't have Facebook, just make a comment in just any of our videos. Hey, I've subscribed, want to be in the cage giveaway, and we'll get you in.
Yeah, or shoot us an email at Crash City Side by Side SXS at Gmail, and we can do it that way too if you want to stay off the book of faces and all that. So, all right, thank you guys.